From the News Channel 8 studios, this is Washington Business Tonight with Rebecca Cooper.
Thanks, Kyle. Well, experts say that as the economy begins to improve, the number of people getting married is actually going to go up. Not because a better bank balance sparks true love, but because many engaged couples held off getting hitched over concerns about the costs associated with weddings during the recession. Join us tonight to talk about a growing industry in the Washington area are two of the town's well-known wedding planners, Allison Jackson, founder and head of Pineapple Productions, and Heather Sala, co-founder and partner with Jennifer Pugh at HJ Planners. Ladies, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
So, Allison Jackson, I got married about 10 years ago here in Washington, and I was completely blown away by the price of trying to have a wedding here in Washington, which is where we had it. I decided that no matter how busy my work schedule was, I couldn't afford a wedding planner. A lot of people now say that was a financial mistake, that a good wedding planner can actually save you money on the final bill. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. I mean, as a wedding planner, I am a repeat customer for area wedding vendors in town, and because of that, I am able to secure competitive pricing and discounts in a way that a one-time customer isn't.
So, Heather, it's like a good tax accountant that at the end of the day they should more than pay for themselves. Is that what you hope to do with your wedding planning?
Absolutely. Additionally, we offer our brides the option of using vendors that we've developed relationships with who give us a discount, and we pass that discount along to our clients. So in the end, instead of paying your wedding planner $2,000, you could end up paying closer to $1,000 for the entire wedding.
The thing I find fascinating about the wedding business here in Washington is not only do you have a lot of high-powered clients, you've got working women who, in some cases like Melody Barnes, are running the White House, and many other people who just have incredibly busy jobs and big titles. But you two come at this with impressive backgrounds. Heather, you were in the government, and you have a law degree, and you turned to wedding planning. Why did you see that as a good business decision?
This business is absolutely booming. What we've found more and more is that couples work, both partners work. They don't have time to mess with weddings, to put the moving parts together and to coordinate, which is where we come in. And if we can offer them those discounts, they're more likely to be hiring planners, especially in this economy. Allison,
one thing I've noticed about Pineapple Productions, your website, you all have beautiful weddings, and you found a niche where you have a specialty. You do wedding planning across the country, but you specialize in private homes and historical sites. It's not your only area. Why do you find it better to specialize in one particular area?
Well, you know, I find that brides and their families are a little intimidated when they go about planning a wedding at a place that isn't built to be a wedding venue, and they need extra help in organizing all those logistics, and that's where I come in.
And how did you come at this business? What made you go from being a bride yourself to deciding to have a business helping others?
Well, you know, like you, Rebecca, I spent a fair amount of time on the Hill, and I had a great experience there, but I was looking to do something more entrepreneurial, and I really was interested in doing project-oriented work that would enable me as a working mom to have more flexible hours so that I could have the kind of family life that I wanted, and wedding planning has done that for me.
Now, Heather, I've seen some statistics from the wedding industry saying that the costs of weddings are going up and up and up, and I assume here in the Washington area they're pretty high. Average cost of a wedding is now between $21,000 and $25,000, but that's on the low end of things for Washington. We've seen weddings here cost 10 times that amount. How should people who are looking at this as a business approach budgeting these kinds of expenses?
Prioritize. Figure out exactly what you want and what's the most important to you, and make it the most important, and that way you can save money in the areas that aren't just that important to you.
Now, you ladies both have the kind of background where, short of having gone to battle in Iraq, you've covered just about every other Washington type of background. So you're used to high-powered people, type A personalities. Are there some things that make being a wedding planner in Washington unique? And what I mean by unique is, are people more demanding here? Is the clientele more difficult to work with?
I do think it is a special clientele, but I wouldn't say it's any more demanding. I mean, no matter where you live, no matter what your budget is, you want your wedding to be special, and there is stress involved with the wedding, and that's where a wedding planner comes in. You know, a wedding planner is there to take the stress off of the family's back, and of course to save them time and ultimately money.
Now, there's two kinds of interior decorators, those that have clients who have a lot of opinions on what they want their house to look like, and those who turn over the keys and say, you do it and I'll come back and see what it looks like. What do you find more in the Washington area? Do people have ideas about what they want, or are they looking to you to come up with the ideas?
It's a mix. Most brides do have a pretty good idea in this area because we have so many options that they've already sort of sorted through, and bridal magazines and websites, and they come with you at you with a good idea. But some of them are a little unsure, and if they are unsure, it's up to you to create that vision and help them, push them along a little bit more.
Now, Allison, with more and more women working, and so they're not the old-fashioned women at home planning their weddings with nothing else, but that is their focus. But are men making more and more of the decisions, or is it still primarily a decision made by the brides more than the grooms-to-be?
No, absolutely. The men are getting in there, and I love that. I love it when couples come together. I think it's a great process for them in advance of making that decision to ultimately get married, and I think that the men bring a different perspective into the picture.
Well, it's nice to see two capable people, including a lawyer who's handling the getting married, not the getting divorced end of things. Ladies, thanks for joining us on Washington Business Tonight. And up next, we'll take a step away for a sponsored segment, but after that, saying you don't have any change in your pocket when you pass those bell ringers this holiday season, that's no longer a valid excuse. We'll explain after our sponsored segment. Stay with us.